So lately we've been getting a lot of conflicting reports regarding Star Wars shows that are coming out in the future, regarding the Mandalorian, the Obi-Wan series, the Book of Boba Fett, but recently in the last couple of days we've been hearing it straight from the horse's mouth. We have Pedro Pascal straight up coming out and saying that the Mandalorian season 3 is actually happening, that we will see a season 3. The fact that they're not going to start filming until late 2021 or possibly even early 2022, and by them saying that, I think that 100% means that they're not filming until early 2022, probably February or March of 2022 is when I think that they will start filming, because I think that that production is very troubled. But in terms of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, we've been really hearing nothing except for positive news. I think that series is going very well. I think the filming of that series is going very well, and I honestly think that that show is going to be extremely good. And honestly, why I think that The Mandalorian was delayed and why a lot of people are reporting that The Mandalorian is being delayed is because I think that Jon Favreau or Dave Filoni, or even both, may be taking a big role when it comes to the filming of the Obi-Wan series to make sure everything goes okay, to make sure everything is canon, everything holds up with the canon that we already have, and make sure none of the characters are done wrong. Because if you think back to Jon Favreau talking about when The Mandalorian season 3 would start filming, he said as soon as the Book of Boba Fett was done filming, The Mandalorian season 3 would begin production. The Book of Boba Fett finished filming a few days ago, and The Mandalorian is not going to film until early 2022. That's a long time. That's not even close to when the Book of Boba Fett finished filming. So I don't really understand, did he straight up lie to us to make us feel better in the moment? Was this always the plan? Is The Mandalorian season 3 going horribly wrong? Or are Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni just taking up a role in the Kenobi series? Well, I truly think that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have a role in this Kenobi series, and that makes me so much more excited for the show. I already thought it was going to be good because we already saw Deborah Chow direct some Mandalorian episodes that were extremely good. She directed what a lot of people call, and what I myself call, a filler episode in season 1. I believe it was episode 6, whenever they were breaking those people out of the jail. She directed that episode, and I have a huge problem with filler episodes. I cannot stand filler episodes. But I love that episode. That might have been my favorite episode in season 1. I think the direction of that episode was top tier. I think that that was some of the best directing in a TV show that I've ever seen. I think it's really underestimated how good the directing for that episode was. And that was Deborah Chow. She is showrunning and directing the entire Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So that in itself just gives me a lot of hope. And then the fact that Deborah Chow worked directly under Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. She saw how they handle Star Wars. She saw how they carried themselves when it comes to making Star Wars content. She knows how to make good Star Wars now because she worked directly under Jon and Dave. And I'm sure if she had any kind of questions, anything that can make the story better for that, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni would be right there to help them. They would only be a phone call away. I'm sure they would love to help. Are you kidding me? An Obi-Wan Kenobi show with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen? Of course they would love to be on set for that. But here we have an article that says Obi-Wan Kenobi reportedly delaying The Mandalorian season 3. Now, why would the Obi-Wan Kenobi show be delaying The Mandalorian season 3? I know that there's only one volume, but Jon Favreau already told us that The Mandalorian season 3 would start production right after the Book of Boba Fett. So what changed? Why did Obi-Wan take his spot? Because we already know there's only one volume in LA right now that's usable. So I know that that's why Obi-Wan Kenobi is taking the place of Mando season 3, but why did they flip? Why is Mando season 3 not going somewhere else to shoot? Maybe they could go to the UK whenever Andor's done shooting and they can film in that volume over there. Why is The Mandalorian being delayed for the Obi-Wan show? And I think it's because Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are going help over the Obi-Wan show, but let's check out what this article has to say about it. It was obvious from the beginning that Star Wars and the Marvel Cinematic Universe would be the two main driving forces behind Disney Plus's roster of original content, and as a result, that means that there are always going to be at least a handful of projects from both franchises in production simultaneously at any given period. Looking at the MCU schedule, the theatrical Thor: Love and Thunder and streaming exclusive Hawkeye may have recently wrapped. Luckily, Star Wars doesn't have any movies on the cards until Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron kicks off, but the overlap for the episodic adventures has impacted The Mandalorian's third season. Andor may have filmed across the pond in the United Kingdom, but both the Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan are using the California sets that house Lucasfilm stagecraft technology, and when you factor in Pedro Pascal's commitment to HBO's The Last of Us, which starts next month, then Ewan McGregor's return as a legendary Jedi has had an unfortunate knock-on effect. Now, if you don't know what this article is talking about, when I just said that there's only one volume in LA that's finished, well, that's because because Obi-Wan and the Book of Boba Fett aren't solely using those volumes. They're not only using the stagecraft technology, especially Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan has multiple sets built that they're filming on as well, so they can kind of alternate days or alternate weeks, even alternate months whenever they were filming. But I mean, Book of Boba Fett's not filming anymore, but when they were filming at the same time in the same location, they could switch week after week. One of them used practical sets and one of them uses stagecraft technology on separate weeks. They're only using one volume. There's not multiple finished in LA right now, or else The Mandalorian would be filming in this exact moment. They would be filming right now, getting ready to release The Mandalorian right after the Book of Boba Fett, but instead, we're not going to see The Mandalorian for a whole nother year after the Book of Boba Fett. The Book of Boba Fett may have called it a wrap, but Obi-Wan Kenobi is still in the thick of it and will remain so for months to come, meaning that The Mandalorian won't be able to start rolling cameras until the end of this year at the very earliest, and possibly even later, depending on Pascal's free time given his first position deal with HBO. Now, like I said, that all sounds good and everything, but The Mandalorian could just go somewhere else. There's multiple volumes built across the world, across the country. So why doesn't The Mandalorian just go somewhere else to film? Or maybe they could do what the Book of Boba Fett and the Obi-Wan series did and just kind of alternate weeks, alternate times in which each of them are using practical effects, practical sets, and the stagecraft technology. Well, the reason for that is Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are helping out with the Mandalorian series. None of us knew about Dave Filoni's promotion until a couple of weeks ago, when in reality, he was promoted a whole year ago to executive creative director. So maybe Dave Filoni really does just have to go out and oversee what's going on each of these projects. And maybe Jon Favreau was the main one that was working on the Book of Boba Fett, while Dave Filoni was out there overseeing the Obi-Wan series and the Book of Boba Fett and the Bad Batch all at the same time. But like I said, Deborah Chow is show running and directing the entire Obi-Wan series. So maybe she just called Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and was like, hey, can you guys come help me out on this set? I'm kind of lost. I'm kind of in over my head. I don't have the Star Wars knowledge that you guys did. Please come help out on this set. Please come give your energy, your Star Wars knowledge to this set. And I'm sure, like I said, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni would love to work on a set with Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan and Hayden Christensen as Anakin/Darth Vader. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want to do that? And like I keep saying over and over again, there was no other reason for The Mandalorian being delayed. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are 100% helping out in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. There is no doubt in my mind that that's what's going on. We also have this news about Liam Neeson addressing Star Wars return rumors ahead of Obi-Wan Kenobi series for Disney+. Liam Neeson is shutting down rumors that he'll reprise his role in the Star Wars franchise for the upcoming Disney+ series focused on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Whenever he was asked about if he was returning for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, this is what Liam Neeson said: I heard Ewan McGregor was going to do a series. No, I don't think so. No, I haven't been approached. Now, for one, I think Liam Neeson is 100% lying here. I think that that's the easiest home run that Star Wars has ever had, to bring Liam Neeson back as Qui-Gon Jinn in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. It has to be done. You have to do that. That's so easy. That's such an easy episode, and the fans will eat that up no matter what else is in that episode. You give us a good Qui-Gon Jinn episode, and you're set for that week. So I think Liam Neeson is 100% lying about that. But also, if they really haven't approached Liam Neeson, if they're really not going to do Qui-Gon Jinn in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, there has to be a really good reason why not. It has to just not fit the series at all, because like I said, it's the easiest home run that Star Wars has ever had. The ball is literally on a tee for them to just knock this out of the park. It's so easy, such an easy home run, so it must really not fit, because Deborah Chow, like I said, worked under Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. They've probably advised her a little bit, and now I think that they're on the set of Obi-Wan, so she has no shortage of Star Wars knowledge. She has no shortage of the Star Wars fandom and what the fandom would want out of this Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and a Qui-Gon Jinn cameo would probably be close to the top of that list. But let's be real, this has to just be Liam Neeson lying about it and saying that he's not going to be in the series, even though he's actually going to be in the series. But you can let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think that Liam Neeson will return as Qui-Gon Jinn in the Obi-Wan series? And also, what do you think about the Mandalorian being delayed for the Obi-Wan series to take its place? Let me know what you think about all this whole situation in the comments below. But if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both of those links will be in the description as well. Thank you for watching the video, and hope to see you in the next one.